Doreen Granpeesheh is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. Sarah wants to know, hi, Dr. Doreen, what is the correlation between hyperlexia and autism? Is it a predictor of functioning level?
So I'll give you an anecdotal answer to that. So yeah, I do have a lot of kids who have, or some kids who have hyperlexia, and that for our viewers, hyperlexia is when children, they have a amazing ability to with letters, and they can read earlier than other children. I mean, I have children who have taught themselves at the age of 2 how to read, and I'm like, oh my God, so they are very advanced in the ability to read words. That doesn't mean to understand words, but to read words, right? So I want to say that anecdotally, and I don't think there's any published literature on this, but from my personal experience, a child who has hyperlexia usually gets me pretty excited because they have a certain organization in their brain that makes it easier to teach them a lot of things. So in that sense, they tend to go faster through their lessons and programming. And, I don't want to confuse people. I want to talk for a minute, Shannon, about like the way that I do ABA, which is a little bit different than typical ABA, I think. Yeah. So, the way that I look at it, ABA is not just a series of, it's two different things. One is like a series of techniques that we use to help manage behavior. So challenging behaviors is kind of like a series of techniques where we communicate to the child what behaviors are accepted and others that are not acceptable, and how they should modify their behaviors and make them more adaptive. So that's one section of it. The other section of it is a whole different series of protocols and methods that we use just for teaching new skills. And so that's, to me, the bigger portion of ABA, which is because there's hundreds of skills where our kids fall behind, right? So it's like whether they're 3 years old when they're diagnosed or 4 or whatever it is, there's a few years of early development that they were not paying attention, were not able to learn the way other children learn. So now they've fallen behind. And Shannon, I'm just going to answer because there was an earlier question I saw that came in that said something about, my child being diagnosed, and I think they're like functioning at an 18-month-old when the child is actually 2.5 years old, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to throw that in here as well. So, there's 2 ages: chronological age, which is our own age, like the age that you have, and mental age, which is the age of your brain functioning. So usually your chronological age and your mental age are the same. So you are, let's say, 5 years old, and your mental age is that of a 5-year-old. And that's how you calculate IQ, intelligence quotient. IQ is is mental age divided by chronological age times 100. And that's how it's 1/1, right, times 100. So it's 100. Normal IQ is 100. So basically, with our kids, because they are aging, their chronological age is getting more higher, but their mental age is slower because it's so distracted and it's not learning. It's almost like, they're in a foreign world. They don't understand things fast enough, so they're losing time. So what happens is obviously their mental age falls behind. So as their mental age falls behind, this is often a very shocking thing for parents to be told, oh, he's functioning like a 2-year-old. But that doesn't mean that he will always be functioning as a 2-year-old. That's the whole purpose of intensive therapies like ABA, is that as time is going on, as chronological age is moving forward, now we're going to use these incredibly intensive therapies to double up and teach the child what they didn't catch up with, what they fell behind on. So now, in a span as he goes from age 4 to 5, I'm actually going to teach him 2 years worth of stuff so that, he's catching up. So his mental age will now go faster than time, which is chronological age, and then he will catch up. So those things all happen with therapy. And I totally forgot where I started, Shannon.
We started with the hyperlexia.
Right.
Yes.
And the kids who have hyperlexia, it ends up going a little faster just because we can use the written word as a prompt in teaching. So a lot of times kids with hyperlexia will just master all the things they have to learn a little bit faster, which obviously helps them catch up.
If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.
To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.